Let's get started. As usual, let's start in a seated position. We'll start with a breathing exercise. So you can find cross-legged seated, you can bring one leg in front of the other, however you find it comfortable seated, but just making sure you're sitting tall so you can really breathe deeply. And as it is Earth Day, I thought we'd do some things associated with Earth Day. So we're going to start off with a breathing exercise. It's called the Brahmari Pranayama, which I'm probably saying it wrong, but it literally means bee's breath. And it entails covering your ears and covering your eyes. So the idea is sort of tuning out your senses and drawing inward. And when you do the breath, it's there's a vocal component to it. It's almost as if you're saying Om with your mouth closed. So I'll demonstrate how it looks, and then we'll try it on our own for about 10 rounds. So we take the thumbs just gently and close the ears, and then we bring the hands to cover the eyes, just to kind of soften our sense of sight. And then we breathe in through the nose. And basically with the mouth closed, say Om, or sort of make a sound like a bee. Yeah, so try it on your own for a second, and you should feel it in your head. You should hear it in your head, and it's meant to be instantly calming. So not like super loud sound, but just so you can hear the hum to yourself. Let's try it together, 10 rounds. So go ahead and bring your thumbs over your ears, bring your hands over your eyes. So you're closing the ears gently, your hands over your eyes, and we'll take an inhale and hum. Inhale, hum. Inhale, hum. Inhale, hum. Inhale and hum. Inhale, hum. Inhale, hum. Inhale, hum. Last two. Inhale and hum. Inhale and hum. Okay, gently release your hands and rest your arms, relax your shoulders, and take a moment to breathe easy with your eyes closed. Take stock of how that felt to close the senses, to draw inward, creating this bee sound, feeling the reverberation through your body. Take 5 cleansing breaths here. Inhale in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. And again, inhale, big breath to fill up your belly, your lungs, your chest. Breathe up into your headspace. And exhale out through the mouth. Sigh it out. One more big breath. Really fill up your belly, your lungs, your chest, your head. Breathing all the way in until you can't get any more air in. And big exhale out. Remembering that our yin practice is a time to slow down, to reflect inward, to listen and be still as we hold poses and connect to the deeper stretches in the body, in the heart, and in the mind. And just taking another nice deep breath in. Whatever's lingering as busy energy or thought, release it out with your exhale. Get into this moment if you haven't already. And then take the hands and bring your arms up overhead, feeling the energy rise. And slowly bring your hands into your heart center. And we'll take a moment to set an intention for our practice before we continue on. So sitting up tall, relaxing shoulders, draw an awareness into your heart. Maybe it helps to take your hands over your heart. Feel a connection with our beating heart. Feel connection with the being that we are, the energy that we draw from the world around us, and how we share in this together, this being Earth Day. Taking in oxygen from plants and the trees, and moving our energy through the world. And so maybe you have an intention that resonates with this interconnectedness of living on this planet. Maybe you have an intention that is sending loving energy to someone else, also a noble intention. And maybe you have an intention just to send some loving energy to yourself, give yourself a break for whatever you've been feeling, whatever you've been hard on yourself with lately. Yeah, letting that be your intention, to be kind to yourself, whatever else is resonating. Take a deep breath and commit to your intention. Inhale and exhale. And then bringing the hands back to heart center. Inhale, energy rises, bringing your arms up. And exhale, lower your arms down. Relax your shoulders. Okay, getting ready for our yin practice. We'll start by laying down on the ground. So remembering yin is moving through poses, holding them maybe 1.5 to 3 minutes, and finding your shape of the pose. So everybody's shape is a little bit different, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing as long as you're feeling the appropriate stretch in your body, no pain, right? So you get into the pose. That's the first step of yin. Second step is finding stillness in the pose. So really settling in, not a whole lot of tugging or pulling. And then the third step is surrendering. So let's do a moment of stretch before we get into our first pose, holding pose. Just sitting up here, we're gonna reach the arms, legs are out straight and back to center. And inhale, reach the arms forward. Not forgetting about, we don't need to reach our toes. We're just feeling a stretch here at first. So do this a few times, and on the inhale, go forward, and exhale back up. Inhale forward, exhale back up. It's okay to do it with bent knees too. Nothing wrong with that. Let's do 2 more. Last one here. Inhale, stretch and reach, just to get a nice stretch. And then let's come all the way down onto the back, resting the head and the shoulders down. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead, point through your toes this time. And as you exhale, walk your feet over gently, feet together, over to the right side, and reach your arms over to the right. So we're coming into like a swaying tree position, over to the right, and we're feeling the stretch through the left side of the waist. So left shoulder should still be on the ground. It's very much a lateral stretch, and we don't have to lift the hip to come over. So just feeling it through the side, and elbows can be bent. If you want to walk this left ankle over, cross it over the right, you can do that. Sometimes less is more. Find your pose and find the stillness. Imagine yourself just swaying in the breeze. Close your eyes and let the head and the neck rest onto the side. And then take 10 deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, be with your breath and feel the stretch. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Continue on a few more breaths on your own. Find where you can soften and where you can surrender. Let's take 3 more big breaths here together. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhale and exhale. Slowly start to uncross your legs if they're crossed and walk them back to center. Unwinding, taking your arms down for a moment and relaxing your shoulders. And lay in corpse pose in Shavasana for just a moment so you can feel the effects of that left lateral side stretching. Relax your shoulder blades and take a big breath. Feel your belly ballooning. And give it a nice sigh out. So feel the effects of that one side. You should feel a little off because we haven't done the other side yet. So feel that difference. And then we'll reach the arms, get a full body stretch, point the toes, and then walk the feet over to the left gently, leaning the body, leaning the arms over to the left. Arms don't have to be straight. Rather, we keep both shoulders on the ground. And of course, you can walk that right ankle over the left if that's more conducive. Don't want to hold on crunching in the lower back. We want to stretch to the side of the waist without having to compromise so much in the lower back. So not really any back bend going on. We keep that natural curve. Find your pose. And then just let go. Find stillness in it. Then surrender. Yeah, so can you feel yourself releasing control, releasing resistance with each exhale? And yin, sometimes it's harder to be still than it is to move. So recognizing that, recognizing the mind tends to want to go in different directions. Keep coming back to your breath. Keep breathing in, breathing out. Imagine you're like a swaying tree going to one side. And take a few more breaths here. Again, we'll take 3 more big breaths together. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more big breath. Inhale and exhale. Emptying out fully, slowly start to unwind. And just release your arms down, relax your shoulders, feel the effects of that side body stretch. Take a breath here. All right, and we'll just take a moment to move so we can get some movement in between stretching. We're just gonna hug the knees in and begin to switch legs slowly. So on the exhale, squeeze one knee in and inhale to switch. Exhale here. Inhale to switch. Exhale, squeeze it in. And one more here. Starting to move and get some fluid through the joints, greasing them up. All right, keeping that, we'll keep the right leg in, and then bringing the knee out to the side, bringing the foot flex. We're gonna bend into this left leg, and the ankle we're trying to bring the ankle over the knee, keep the foot flexed, so keep spreading your toes, keep pushing through the mound, big toe mound here, and the heel, knee out to the side. Now we can stay here. It's a little gentler version of what I'm working towards. So it's a figure four pose and should be like feeling it in the outer hip, down the leg, feeling it in the foot. You can stay here again, or you want a little bit more for your hip. We're working basically with gravity to open up the hip, bringing the leg all the way down, flexing into the foot as if the foot is in a standing position. And then gravity wants to bring this knee closer to the ground. So you start to feel a little bit more pull and tug in the hip. So if this feels okay, come here. If this is more conducive to you with the foot on the ground, you can even move the foot away a little bit. Might feel something different there. Or come all the way down. So again, find what works for you. Release your shoulders and your head. And just see if you can find some stillness, some release in the stretch, in the pose. And if you're having trouble focusing on your breath, take this time to count down from 10 to 1. Just one inhale and exhale is one count. So count down, inhale, exhale 10, and then keep counting down 9 to 1. All right, and once you get to 1, if you've already gotten there, we'll take, again, 3 more big breaths here. Releasing the knee out to the side, whether it's lifted or lowered. Big exhale here. Big inhale. Feel your hip releasing, soften your throat as you exhale. One more breath, inhale and exhale. Okay, so whether you're here or here, we'll grab onto our leg again, extending this bottom leg unless it feels like too much pull, you can keep it here. And then just gently bring it in towards the chest. So it's kind of like a pigeon pose, king pigeon, but we're in a supine position. And you start to feel it a little bit more here in your outer hip, down your leg. And we won't stay here for too long. We're just gently keeping the shin as parallel with the chest as we can and bringing it a little bit closer towards the belly, towards the chest. Again, results may vary. So we might be over here, just kind of holding on to the leg. We might be a little bit closer. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You do you. Flex into the foot. And give it another 2-3 breaths here. Soften your throat as you exhale and target relaxation in your hips. Last breath here. Gently start to hug the knee back into the chest. And we're bringing that hip back to a neutral position. So it's externally open, rotated. Now we're just bringing it back in for a moment. So you can interlace the hands and hug the shin, hold on to the knee softly, relax the shoulders down. And just take a moment to move the knee in a circular motion. Actually, the hip is moving in a circular motion as well. And we're just releasing it out after that stretch and go the other way a few times. And then squeeze it back in, hug it in. Take a breath, inhale, exhale. And slowly begin to extend the right leg out. Feel the difference between right and left side. I always feel like when I do one side, the other, it feels a little longer than the other side, so maybe that's the case. Take a full body stretch again. Inhale, reach. And as you exhale, switch it over to the left. So hug the left knee in, relax your shoulders. Just take a moment here. Maybe wiggle out your foot. The feet can relax for a moment. And then flex into this right leg foot, keeping the thigh heavy. And we might start here again, holding just very methodically, opening up through the hip, knee out to the side, foot is flexed, and ankle goes over knee if we can get it there. And we're pushing through the big toe mountain again, knee out towards the side. And so you might hang out here, we're keeping the foot active the whole time. And if you want to go a little bit further, maybe go down a bit. And maybe go all the way down, flexing that bottom foot, allowing this knee to release a bit more. And usually it feels a bit more intense here because we're closer to the ground, therefore gravity, earth is pulling us down again, going with the theme. And you can do whatever you like with the arms, whatever feels nice. Sometimes it's nice to bring the arms up, grow some branches, release the head, and start to count down from 10 to 1 with your breath. Inhale, one inhale and exhale is a breath. See if you can soften your hip a bit more with each exhale. Take a few more breaths here and soften your throat as you exhale out from the mouth. Inhale in through the nose. Soften as you exhale through the mouth. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. Relax your throat, relax your jaw. There's something connected down into your hips. When you crunch your throat, tighten your jaw, it results in a tighter hip. I don't know how it works, but something that happens. All right, and then we'll just bring that leg up if it's not already, and hold on to it here. So you start further away from the body, arms are long. We can keep this knee bent if needed. We can outstretch the leg. There's going to be a little more stretch when we do that. And then we can just hang out here, supporting the leg with the knee out towards the side. I always say keep the foot flexed because it helps keep the knee active and safe. When the foot goes limp sometimes in this pose, it does a wonky thing with the knee. So keeping the foot flexed keeps that connective tissue active through the leg. And then we can bring it a little bit closer into the belly or the chest if we can find it there. You're definitely feeling an outer hip stretch. Trying to keep this leg in stationary in neutral. And take just about 3 breaths here. We won't stay for too long here. We've already done a lot of opening through the side. Again, softening as you exhale. Take one more breath here. Inhale and exhale. And then again, very methodically close the hip, bring the knee back, and you can feel that closure of the hip. Bring the knee back into the chest, squeeze it in towards the shoulder, wiggle out your foot, and then begin that circular motion to release out the hip fully. So go one way, and then go the other way. Okay, last bit of movement here on our backs. We're gonna hug both knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice little rock side to side. Moving your knees in a circle for a moment. Going both ways. And then just extend both legs up, flex into the feet here, release your arms back. And let's see if we can take 10 rounds of breath here. So it's normally legs up the wall or waterfall pose. You can imagine a waterfall, right? Connecting with nature and earth. Flexing into the feet here. So ideally we're trying to bring the ankles over the knees, over the hips. There's a slight tone in the lower belly, but you may find that you need to bend your knees here. That's totally fine. Again, coming out of the pose, if it doesn't feel right, there's something weird going on, like intense heart palpitations, you can come back to this pose. So let's start from the top, counting down 10 to 1 with our breath. All right, let's take 2 more big breaths here. You might feel some tingliness in your legs because the water is moving down the legs, right? Releasing water retention, waterfall pose, and releasing the fluids that are stuck in the joints and reversing of the blood flow. So that's where the tingliness comes in. And start to move your legs a little bit, rolling around the ankles and then bending the knees a little bit, and just get really wiggly here, like really soft in your joints and your legs, promoting that water retention release in the legs. And I know it looks silly, but it's good for us. It's fun. Take a big breath, inhale and exhale. All right. And then hug the knees back into the chest and roll off to one side for a moment, just whatever side feels most natural into the fetal position, and just take a moment to feel the effects in the legs, feeling safe in this very natural position. And then push your hands firmly into the ground, pushing that top arm into the ground. Take the weight out of the neck so you're using your arms and your shoulders to gently lift yourself up. It's a long time for being in a laying down position. So check the time really quick. Okay, good. So let's come into a hand and knee position. So we're on our hands and knees, shoulders over wrists, hands are spread, and again, connecting with nature, we can think of a starfish, right? Our hands are spread really wide, like a starfish or a gecko or a frog. It's really getting into Earth Day. Shoulders over wrists, hands are spread, knees underneath our hips. And that just might feel nice to just sway a little bit side to side and linger from one side to the other with our hips. And then come back to center. Hands are really spread here. Drop the belly, reach the heart forward, pull the shoulder blades back, and hang out here in cow pose. A little stretch across the neck. It doesn't have to be a whole lot of gazing upward or forward. You can just stretch gently, pull the shoulder blades close together, and it's almost like you're reaching your heart forward through the arms. Drop the belly. You should feel a stretch across the belly, and the hips are tilted, spilling forward. Take one more inhale here. Inhale, pull the shoulders back, reach your sternum forward. And then as you exhale, reverse. Pull your belly up and in, draw your chin in towards your chest, and hang out here for a moment, feeling like a cat getting ready to pounce. Pull the belly up and in, draw the chin into the chest. Feel the stretch across the back of the neck. And take one more breath here. Pulling your belly in, feeling that stretch through the spine, the shoulder blades. And then just 2 times, go forward and back on the breath. So inhale, forward, shoulders back, pull your chest forward. Exhale, round up and in, draw your chin in. Inhale, forward, shoulders back. And exhale, round in. And let's come all the way onto the belly for our next stretch. So our feet are gonna be hip distance apart or more narrow than that. So sometimes we're out here, but let's just check in with the legs, and our feet are about hip distance apart. And then our shoulders are coming over our wrists here for a Sphinx pose. So shoulders over wrist. Shrug the shoulders for a moment. So feel like a turtle going into your shell. And then when the turtle pops out of the shell, the neck becomes long. So do the thing that we don't want to do for a moment, and then recorrect, elongate the neck, pull the shoulder blades down the back, palms pushing into the ground. We're trying to bring the shoulder over the elbow. If that feels a little too intense, we can walk the hands more forward, and it takes some of the intensity out, I believe. So a little more upright, pushing the palms and the forearms in, and keeping the legs somewhat active so we don't dip into the lower back. Again, begin to breathe. Count down from 10 to 1. If you get back to 10, if you get down to 1, go back to 10. So start over again if we're still there. This is a really good pose if you spend a lot of time on a computer or forward looking at your phone, that text neck. It really helps counter that and open up our upper mid back, which is generally a stiff area. So again, take a few more breaths here, soft exhales out through the mouth. Soften through your exhale, relax your shoulder blades down the back, pull the shoulder blades back. Let's all take 3 more breaths together. You can do it. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale, one more exhale. All right. And then slowly lower forward. Bring your forehead down and walk your hands forward. So it feels really nice now to stretch that area of the upper back and the chest. And just walk your hands forward to a point where you're going to feel your shoulders up towards your ears and walk your toes back. Try to push each of your toes, the tops of your feet, into the ground. And so your inner thighs are spinning in, your toes are down. So find the pose, then find some stillness and relax a bit. And then take about 10 breaths here. We want to feel an appropriate stretch, but not so much that we're tightening and holding. Right? We want to feel release as we exhale. All right, take one or two more breaths here. Big exhales, relax your neck as you bring your forehead down. And then we're coming back up again, but this time into a seal pose. So our hands are on the ground. Again, like a turtle shrugging into its shell, shrug in, and then relax your shoulders down. You don't even have to be very high here. We can even rest the forearms down if it becomes too much. We're not going to stay as long as Sphinx pose, but just a couple breaths here, and we'll take a neck stretch. So start to slowly gaze out over, gently gaze out over that right shoulder, and just take a breath or two. And then slowly come back to center and go to the other side, just a breath or two there. Come back to center. Bring the forearms back down onto the ground. Pull the chest forward, shoulders back. Feel any difference from your first set of Sphinx pose till now. And just take one more breath. Inhale. And soft exhale. Relax your throat, relax your jaw. And then slowly peel yourself up and begin to go back a little bit, but don't go all the way back into child's pose, and go forward a little bit. So you just want to release out the lower back, going back and forward a few times. Inhale forward, exhale back. And this next stretch is what, as promised, we're going to do the thread the needle or Parshvakolasana. And the next stretch that we just did is meant to help prepare us for this next pose. So let's start with the left hand. We're going to bring the left hand up towards the sky, open up the chest, inhale here. As you exhale, weave the left arm through and gaze off towards the right. Inhale, bring the left arm up, and exhale, reach through a little bit further. Inhale, lengthen up, and exhale, reach through a little bit further, making sure to turn the head and the neck off. One more time, inhale, reach up. And this time, we're reaching through, looking through, so really turning the head and the neck off to the side consciously. And then we slowly come down with the head, and we can even come back with the hips, so it's more of like a child's pose stretch, if this is more conducive, resting the head down. We can be here with the hips high, keeping this right hand where it is. I don't want you to feel like your neck is cranked or paining at all. So you might even just be more upright. Like we can certainly be here if this is better for our neck. So just be kind to your neck. I used to feel a lot of pain in this pose, and it was because I don't think I had my neck in the right position. So find a position that works for you. And then you can keep this right hand where it is. If you want a little bit more stretch through the side of the waist, a little more twist, we can walk this right hand out in front and walk it across the body so the upper arm is going over the ear. Right, again, close the eyes, find stillness, surrender, and breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Take a few more breaths, surrender into the pose. Use your next couple breaths to release fully. Where can you release a little bit further? Where can you adjust to really feel a nice stretch without paining yourself, without overdoing it, and just breathing into it? Inhale, exhale out the mouth. Inhale, exhale out the mouth. One more breath here. Inhale, and exhale. And then whether you're back here or you're forward, we're slowly lifting back up and just slowly bringing that arm back up, opening up the chest, and then bringing the hand down. Just take a moment to relax your arms, relax your shoulders. It's a lot for that one side. Feel it a lot on that left side. We'll switch sides. So just so I can face you. Inhale, bring the right arm up, and exhale, turn the head, the neck off to the side, reach it through. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale, reach it through. It's a work in progress, right? We're working into it. Inhale up. Exhale, reach it through. And last one here. Inhale up. Exhale, reach it through. Go all the way, consciously turning the head and the neck off, coming onto the outer shoulder. We can reach forward, walking the hand across the body. If that's too much, then reel back in. And I'll just adjust mine a little bit so you can see that you can do this differently by coming into a child's pose and taking the same stretch in the shoulder. It's a little bit less intense. Again, begin to count down those breaths. Let's take our last 3 big breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. Okay. Slowly come out of it. Remember to bring the arm back up, back to where we started, and back down. So nice to do a twist after the back bend, after our squeeze pose. Let's find cross leg for just a second, and then swing the legs forward. And I think it's time for us to, take our final pose, which is final resting. Before we get there, feet are flexed. Move the flesh at the buttocks away. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, forward and up. And just notice the difference between when we first did this and now. Hopefully there's some newfound flexibility in the legs, in the hips, in the arms, in the spine, shoulders, whatever else you're feeling any different. Maybe you're feeling different in your breath and in your mind. And then on your next inhale, reach up. As you exhale, gently lower down. You can use your arms to lower you down. And we're ready for final resting pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. So go ahead and let the arms and legs fall open. Push your shoulder blades down and back. Let them melt into the earth. Let the head be heavy. Point your palms up. Legs are open, letting the feet fall open. Slight rotation in the hips. And take a couple deep breaths to settle in. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale, fill up your belly, your lungs, your chest, into your head, feel your whole body, the energy of your whole body, and sigh out. Let the whole body settle in. Feel the reverberation left over from the movements. Feel the earth below you. Feel your body laying down, being supported. Feel the air on your skin from the atmosphere around you, from the sky above. And be here with your breath, just in this present moment, enjoying the fruits of your practice and resting deeply, Shavasana. Gradually begin to deepen your breath. Begin to waken up your fingers and your toes. Imagine yourself like a newborn animal or newborn baby, just waking up in the body, wiggling out the hands and the feet, feeling this newfound movement, feeling freshness, new experience. What does it feel like to just be born and to feel fresh in the world? No experience, no preconceived notions or ideas of how it should be, just experiencing as you waken up and stretch your body. Maybe move your head gently side to side. Find a newness, a gratitude for being able to reset. And then when you're ready, bend into your knees, plant your feet, roll off to one side. Take a moment there to really find stillness. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly start to lift yourself up, losing the strength of your arms. We'll come into a seated position, sitting up tall, lengthening up through the spine, relaxing shoulders, opening the palms. On the inhale, bring your arms up overhead, meeting your fingertips together. As you exhale, pull your hands down to your heart, and maybe again, it feels nice to connect to the heart, hands over the heart, relax the shoulders, feel the beating of the heart, the energy through the body as you are connected to the space and the earth around you. Remember the intention that you set, honoring the practice, just taking a deep breath to let go of any negative that may have arisen. Inhaling in through the nose and exhaling, letting it go. Finding a peace and a positive from your practice. Bring your hands together. We'll take one Om to complete our practice. Feel free to join if you like. So we'll inhale, exhale, cleanse the breath. Inhale and then Om. Cleansing breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Om. With gratitude, thank you for joining in this practice today, bowing to the light in each of you.